Hi there, this is David and welcome to New RPG News. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today, from Persona news to some Vision of Mana to Sea of Stars to all sorts of really cool collector's editions that I want to go over, Unicorn Overlord, Dragon Quest, and more. But first, I have yet another package in my P.O. box that I want to open up, and this one is from Matthew. Thank you so much, Matthew, for sending me this. Let's figure out what it is, see if there's a card inside of it or anything. Oh my gosh, this is really sealed up. like a little bit at a time. There we go. This is better. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, is there? Oh, no, it's not a card. It's a packing. Let me just make sure. Just a packing slip. Yeah, just a packing slip. Okay, so no card from Matthew, but it is. Oh, cool. Astral Chain. Thank you so much for sending this to my P.O. box. That is so nice of you. I heard a lot about this game, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I cannot wait to go into this. I don't have this game, and I heard that it was like really rare too, so thank you. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Matthew, for this. You made my day. Now let's go ahead and get on into the news. Let's kick off this week with some news from my favorite series of all time. Dragon Quest Monsters The Dark Prince shipments and digital sales have topped 1 million. Wow. This has only been out for actually it's been out for less than 2 months now. And whoa, that is amazing. That is such good news. I love the Dragon Quest series, and this is as traditional as you can get as far as, it's turn-based combat. It's kind of really linear, that sort of stuff. But man, I had a great time with this. If you are a fan of monster capturing RPGs, then it would really behoove you to play this one. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I don't think that that's my Dragon Quest rose-colored glasses talking right now. This was a really good game. I blew through this. I beat this. It took me roughly 40 or so hours to beat it, and I had a blast with it. So if you want to grab this, be sure to do so. I got it digitally from Square themselves, but I kind of want to order a physical copy over on PlayAsia while they are still available, because I'm just a sucker for physical. Y'all know how I am. Visions of Mana is launching this summer. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I already put an entire dedicated video out about Visions of Mana. If you want to see my complete reactions to the trailer that was kind of stealth released over on the Xbox Direct, be sure to check that out. I just put it out the other day. So please do look at this. There was some confusion as far as what system it comes out for, because this was kind of announced in that Xbox thing, so people are like, is this Xbox only? Some people were saying, hey, this is going to be held back to the Switch, but no, because it's not announced for the Switch. This is coming out for the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox, and the PC this summer. No release date, we just know this summer. There was some different things that were shown off. Most importantly was the pickle, which is kind of like a little doggy type creature that you can ride around and bash the enemies up with and everything. It showed off a little bit more of the combat and things like that, and it just looks fan-frickin-tastic. This thing is at the top of my list as far as games that I am looking forward to later on this year. More Final Fantasy VII news, because they have a new trailer. It's the Destined for Rebirth trailer. Again, this is coming out February the 29th for the PS5 only. You know that there's going to be a PC release later on down the line, probably 6 months afterwards. We all just know how this is. So let's just go through and see what we've got going on here. They show off some artwork. They talk about the different regions of the world, such as Yunnan right here, and the Shinra 8, which is the boat that you take from Yunnan over to Costa del Sol. Then it goes on about the new characters. And it says characters, but it's only one character. It's Kate Sith. So it says, this gregarious cat fights atop the sturdy Moogle mount who provides both mobility and support during battle. When Kate's not duking it out, his Kate Sith and Moogle high-tech helper aids him in hacking computer systems and telling fortunes. Look at him dancing around on top of the Moogle like a little darling. Then there is Elena, that's the newest member of the Turks, who we first met in the Mithril Mines back in the day. We probably will meet her there again this time, but we don't know because they do things, they do change things around. Then it has Captain Titov, who I guess is a new character this time around. He's essentially the captain of the boat. He was probably just like an NPC in the first game or whatever, but they actually gave him, you know, a name this time. It says, the captain of the Shinra 8, responsible for overseeing safe passage for all those who travel between Yunnan and Costa del Sol. He's earned a stellar reputation among his crew thanks to his unerring devotion to his duties. This is most evident during the various festivals held aboard his vessel, which he personally and passionately EMCs. So that's interesting. If you recall, the first time around, whenever you were on the boat, it wasn't like a huge thing. It was like maybe 15 minutes or so you're on this boat. There was the funny scene with Red in his little sailor uniform. There's that fight that you do and all that. But otherwise, it was kind of just like, you know, a ship. But now there's festivals being held on board. Then it talks a little bit more about the combat too, and Yuffie. If you didn't play the intermission version and you didn't get to see Yuffie, she will be joining you up this time. And it says that her basic attacks is to quickly strike enemies with a large throwing star. The speed with which she attacks allows you to charge ATB faster than most. Where her throwing star is out, Yuffie can release magic-infused ninjutsu to punish her foes. And she excels at chaining her attacks together and switching their elemental affinity. Her doppelganger ability allows her to attack in tandem with her clone, that's neat, enabling her to exploit enemies' weaknesses even more effectively. Then she has a unique ability of hurling her throwing star at enemies, allowing her to keep up the pressure from a distance. While her throwing star is out, she'll also be able to pelt foes with ninjutsu. Whatever element her target's weak against, Yuffie has a ninjutsu spell for it. And then Cait Sith. So I've already played with Yuffie, but it's kind of unfortunate that the only new character that we really get to play around with is Cait Sith, because it's going to be covering getting up to Sid, getting up to Vincent, but they're not going to be allowing those characters to actually join you. They're going to be joining in the third part, unfortunately. I don't know why, don't ask me. I'm just the messenger. Cait Sith, basic attacks. He darts about the battlefield with the agility of an acrobat, or perhaps a cat, assailing enemies from every side. When he wants to switch things up, he brings his Moogle pal out, changing up his attacks. The Cait Sith exclusive moves can hurt enemies or buff allies, but they rely mostly on luck in some way. Ugh. Let's Ride, however, allows him to hop onto his Moogle, enhancing his regular attacks and his unique abilities. And whenever he is on the Moogle, he can give enemies the boot with a drop kick. That's hysterical to me. And once the Moogle's attacks have filled the Moogle meter, he can buff his companions with abilities like defense. Then there's a synergy ability between Cait Sith and Yuffie called the Moogle Pinwheel, where Yuffie and Cait Sith attack in tandem with secret ninjutsu technique. Again, this is coming out February 29th for the PS5. I will be hunkered down in my room from February 29th until this game is beaten, because I just can't. And immediately following me being hunkered down playing Final Fantasy VII, I'm gonna probably transition straight into a hunker down mode for Unicorn Overlord 2, because oh my gosh, y'all! But we have more information about it, detailing more characters, classes, leaders, and promotions, including 12 of the tactical RPGs over 60 different class types. So here we have our first character, Rosalind. Says you are not to drop your guards at any moment. No, we'll just drop Trow for her little swimsuit right there. It says she's a dark elf augur who resides in Elheim. Aid to her elder sister Edelinde. She escaped the fall of the capital and is gathering forces for a counter-attack. Okay, oh, here's Edelinde. She's a protagonist ally, and she says, I will aid you whenever I'm able. Oh my, you could see her panties! Oh my god, massive panty shot right there. This is Rosalind's twin sister and the Turnios of Elheim. Unable to resist Zenoria's onslaught, she surrendered and chose to lead from within captivity. Okay. And we have another girl. Are they all girls? This is Ithalion? I don't know. Ithalion. Oh wait, it's not a girl? I don't know. Wait, is it? Is it a girl? It says a swordsman. Okay. So I guess it's not. Okay, so swordsman could have fooled me. Good lord. Anyway, a swordsman and knight in service of Elheim. Okay, there we go. He was away on a mission when the capital fell to Zenoria. He's led a guerrilla force ever since. Okay, whatever you say, game. That's, okay. Whatever you say, that's a man, sure. Okay, back to the women. This is Alcina. Oh, the protagonist's enemy. Okay, enemy. A witch loyal to the Zenorian army, formerly the court sorceress of Cornea. She now serves Galerius and appears to be assisting him with some sort of dark scheme. And then Baltro, another enemy, who looks like a ghost right there, or sorcerer or something. It says, a wizened wizard who serves Galerius, versed in all manner of dark spells and curses. His face remains obscured behind his hood, and none have seen the visage beneath. Oh, he's not floating. I see a foot. I was thinking that he was just like a floating head or something. But no, he actually has a body there. Okay, interesting. Goes to the classes. There is a House Carl. I don't know what that is. I guess it's like a basic warrior. Talks about, boasts excellent physical attack, can lower physical defense. They put K in physical. It's physical, not physical. Physical attack and physical defense. I don't know why they do this. Why do they purposely misspell these things? It's like whenever Final Fantasy 12 came out and they purposely misspelled magic all the time. This, I don't know, it just bothers me. Maybe it's the teacher in me that I'm like, no, don't do that. Let me get up my red pen. Here we have the Gladiator, who boasts physical attack skills to hit an entire enemy row capable of self-healing. The Arbalist, proficient at both attacking with a flurry of crossbow bullets and providing support from the back row, so basically an archer. Then you have the Cleric, who's, healing. Oh, look, they do the K thing with the magic as well. Don't ask me. I don't know, but it definitely bothers me. A Wyvern Knight, aerial unit capable of inflicting heavy damage on an enemy, infantry, or cavalry. Vulnerable against ranged and caster attacks. Very similar to something like Fire Emblem, I must say. We have the Shaman. That was my class that I played back in EverQuest back in the day, back in the 90s. I was addicted to EverQuest, man. Specializes in skills which weaken their foes by obstructing their actions and reducing their abilities. So like a debuffer. An Elven Fencer. Uses magic melee attacks to strike at their enemies with superlative finesse. Capable of creating barriers to protect allies from attacks. A Werewolf, cool. A werewolf with a little kilt. Oh, he's darling. Oh, I love him already. Oh, he excels at finishing off weakened enemies. Also possesses a special skill that improves their performance at night. Okay, so we have a day-night cycle here too. A Feather Bow. Oh, that's adorable too. We have an Archer capable of debuffing foes as well as supporting allies. Possesses a high evasion rate but susceptible to arrow fire, kind of like the Werven Knight right there. And yeah, it just goes into more and more classes and kind of classes kind of going up together, like the Griffin Knight, and stuff like that. Or, we just saw that other one, the little Feather Archer, now we have a Feather Sword. So there's just a lot of stuff right here. What are the differences between this Hunter and then the other Archer that we just saw? This says it boasts excellent accuracy, effective versus flying foes such as Griffin Knights, and thanks to its special attack allowed to hit foes with high evasion. So, yeah, It seems like there's just multiple different classes that kind of overlap here and everything. And there's a lot here in this article. I don't want to go over all of it because there's just so much to it. But man, this is looking so intense, so good, so involved, so complex. And that's great because we're living in a day and age right now where a lot of developers don't want to add too much complexity to their games because they feel like we're all idiots and they think that we're all too stupid to figure it out, you know what I mean? So it's nice that this developer seems to be respecting our intelligence with this game, with so much to look at and so much to deal with in the menu, and I'm really liking that. It's Persona 3 Reload Day 1 DLC. It includes costumes, personas, and background music for all of this DLC. There's quite a bit here. There's costume, downloadable content that includes the Phantom Thieves costume set from Persona 5, as well as a different one that includes Persona 5 Royal Shujin Academy costume set. Then there's Persona 4 Golden Yasogami High School costume set. My god, they're piecemealing this. Why can't it just be one costume set that you get all of them? They gotta piecemeal it out like this. There's Persona 5 Royal Persona set, which includes 9 different personas from Persona 5, and that's one set. Then there's a different set that includes 9 different personas, also from Persona 5. Then a different set that includes 3 different personas from Persona 4. This is really piecemealed out, folks. This is crazy. Then there's a background music downloadable content set from Persona 5 Royal. I feel like, why don't you just turn on YouTube and listen to the OST? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I'm just the only one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Ugh. Anyway, Persona 3 Reload is coming out for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC on February the 2nd, along with a ton of Day 1 DLC. Wow, y'all, this is kind of wild. Like the power of a Pokemon clone, but with some guns. Palworld Early Access sales topped 1 million in 8 hours. Holy crap! Like, that's crazy. Earlier in the news, our first story was Dragon Quest topping 1 million in like about a month and a half or so. Palworld did that in 8 hours. Oh my god. So yeah, it says this is an open world survival crafting game. Surpassed 1 million hours, or 1 million copies just 8 hours after its early access launch today. And it's launching for the Xbox and PC so far, but it also said that it does not have plans for a PlayStation 5 version, but it will consider it during the course of development. Then it goes on to say that it's expected to remain in early access for at least 1 year, where it's priced at $30. However, they might increase that price closer to the official release to make sure that they get as much blood from the stone as humanly possible, because, you know, getting $30 times 1 million in 8 hours isn't enough money for these people. My god. And speaking of Persona as well as Palworld, both of them are coming to Xbox Game Pass this month. Right now, let me just look at the dates. January 19th, Palworld is coming to Game Pass, so if you have that, you can play it. And then February 2nd, the day that Persona 3 Reload is being released, that is also coming to Game Pass. So if you are looking forward to those, and you have an Xbox, this would be a good way to go ahead and check them out. Touhou Dungeon Maker The Labyrinth of Heart second trailer. This is a roguelike dungeon builder. The second trailer has been released. We have an overview of the game. It says that it's a roguelike / tower defense style dungeon management RPG where you can strengthen characters, set traps, and keep fighting off massive numbers of incoming enemies. You can create your own ideal dungeon, survive 100 days after the attack, and then unravel the mysteries of the magical dungeon. The story says, suddenly, dungeons begin to appear and spread throughout Gensokyo. Once you enter the dungeon, your mind will be deranged, and you'll be attacked by countless phantoms of girls. Oh no! If nothing is done, the entire land of Gensokyo will be covered by these dungeons, and both humans and monsters will lose their homes. Oh my! The girls who stood up to solve the problem were those with the ability to influence the mind, who could resist the mental derangement and subdue the illusions. I don't know, just... So if this looks cool to you and you want to check it out, this is a trailer for you. It says that it's in development for PC. We do not have a release date right yet. The physical edition of Sea of Stars is launching May the 10th. Hey, there you go. It's coming out for the PS5, PS4, Xbox, and Switch. You have to buy it on iam8bit.com. It says the standard edition is going to cost $40. It's going to include a double-sided poster featuring art from Bryce Coe. Pre-orders are coming soon and include a digital download of the game's soundtrack as well. The iam8bit exclusive edition, due out in Q2 for $5 more at $45, will include a retro-inspired game manual, a collectible slipcase, collectible poster featuring original art and an oversized game map, a digital download of the game's soundtrack, and 4 sticker sheets. So to me, for $5 more, that seems like a no-brainer. You know, you would get that stuff. So I went over to the iam8bit website, which is right here. You can see each of the various versions. They're also selling a record of Sea of Stars as well. This whole record, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't get it. Like, why don't they sell CDs? Like, I don't, like, when did, like this is like going back to, like, you know, like 8-tracks and 45s and cassette tapes and stuff like I had when I was a little kid. Like once you moved on from that and you went into records, like, you left that older stuff behind. Well, not the cassette tapes. I would still use those into, like, the 2000s to record stuff off the radio. But anyway, like once we got a CD player, and I don't know, I got a CD player for my 10th birthday, so 1992, I got a CD player. Like, I never bought a record again, but now people want records? I don't know. It's just, maybe I'm just old and out of touch. I just don't personally get it. I still have a CD slot in my car, for God's sakes. Like, you can't take a record and put it into your car, but if I bought a CD, you could do that, and they didn't have an option of a CD, but they have an option for a record? Like, I don't get it. Anywho. Off my soapbox for just a hot minute right here. This is the artwork, the cover, the game, all that kind of good stuff right here. This is everything that it comes with. The poster, the little sticker sheets. Oh, this is gorgeous. Instruction booklet. This is fantastic. I was actually a early backer for their Kickstarter, and they sent out like a little, I don't know, email blurby thing earlier today, and they were like, hey, you know, we know that you guys see these other physicals being available, but we're going to, you know, increase the value of yours physicals, so I believe that I'll be getting all of this stuff with my Kickstarting backing thing that I did. That would just make the most sense to me. I don't know why they would give this stuff out to some people and then they wouldn't give it out to the backers, if you know what I'm saying. I better get this stuff. I've been talking about this game for the last couple of weeks now. This is Wan Sword Mists Beyond the Mountains. There is a physical edition and there is a collector's edition too. I told you there's a lot of collector's editions that I wanted to go over today. If you don't know anything about this game, this is like East meets West. It's a traditional RPG. It is award-winning as well. It says Eastern and Western worlds collide in an epic spell spanning Eurasia, Arabia, Francia, and China. Embark on a long journey to locate the invincible arts of war as you take on the role of Septim, a Frankish knight unwittingly drawn into the power struggle between desperate cultures. In Wan Sword Mist Beyond the Mountains, it presents a narrative using mythological and historically inspired architectural styles, garb, cuisine, and customs, blended with traditional turn-based battle mechanics and HD hand-painted sprites. Recruit new characters to your party, capture enemies in battle using the Spirit Fusion Pot, and craft new items and monsters from Eastern or Western altars for different resulting appearances and properties. Only by uniting the powers of the East and West can you hope to challenge the ambitions of the Dark Lord who tears at the seams of civilization. So this physical package right here, which is only $40, this is a great deal. This is a freaking great deal. $40, which is less than like $60, which is what you would normally spend, and you get other stuff with it. So it includes an interior art case, a soundtrack downloadable card, and chipboard standees, as well as the game, of course, only for $40. However, this is the collector's edition. Comes with a lot more stuff, as you can see. This one is $80, so double the price, but it looks like you get like triple the amount of stuff right here. You get the physical game, you get a collector's edition box right there, you get a wall scroll. Oh, that's beautiful. You get your chipboard standees, a traditional resin tea pet statue, the little cat little guy right there, a soundtrack download card, and an original soundtrack CD. So that is a lot of stuff. I love this collector's box. That thing's huge. That's really cool. And that wall scroll would look great on my wall as well, hanging up in my game room. And the little pet statue too. I would actually open this one up and put like the little stuff around my game room because it's cute. It's absolutely darling. So if you are interested in this, you might want to jump on this collector's edition because that's a great value. Here's another thing that I've been talking about for quite a bit of time, and that's the Cosmic Fantasy Collection. This includes Cosmic Fantasy 1 and 2 in English. These were originally released back on the TurboGrafx 16 back in like, I don't know, 91, 92, something like that, a long time ago. And we only got Cosmic Fantasy 2 in English, but now the first one is also being translated into English. This is over on Limited Run Games, and you can get the Cosmic Fantasy Collection, just the basic game, for $45, or there's a deluxe edition for $90. Let's look and see what the deluxe edition has in store for us. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff there. A huge box. It looks like a traditional box as well. Then you have the Switch game down here. Looks like a poster, a soundtrack, a little pin. I wonder if it actually says exactly what you get. Aha, okay. It says a physical copy of Cosmic Fantasy Collection for the Nintendo Switch, a Cosmic Fantasy Collection digital edition plastic case, a retro-styled slipcover, original soundtrack, a 12x16 two-sided poster, and an enamel pin. So you get that, and these pre-orders are limited time, from January the 12th up through February the 11th. Once February 11th hits, it's going to get cut off. So if you want this, be sure that you go ahead and pre-order it because it is sure to be rare. And as we all know, news can't be complete without some bullshitolas. We always have our little rants here, don't we? It says, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is making the utterly bizarre decision to lock New Game Plus, of all things, behind a $15 upgrade? Like, what? What? I don't get it. I don't freaking get it. They've been doing New Game Plus since Chrono Trigger. And guess what? It was free with Chrono Trigger! Oh my gosh, what a concept! But no, now we have to pay for New Game Plus because everybody just loves DLC and you just buy with no consequences. And then look what happens! New Game Plus becomes 15 frickin' bucks. It says here that it's locking it behind its Deluxe and Ultimate Editions, which cost an extra $15 and $40 on top of the base game cost, respectively. This is a series which traditionally has had its own features locked behind a New Game Plus run, such as the Legendary Difficulty mode. Specifically, New Game Plus is being folded into the Master Vacation bundle, which isn't included with the game's base version. According to the game's official website, the bundle also includes a bonus dungeon, a special Sujimon, resort guests, outfits, and more. And I guess that and more is the New Game Plus. Like, what in the world? What is going on? Like, what is going on with this piecemealing, this cutting? We've seen Day 1 DLC so far, and now we're seeing, like, something so basic. It's New Game Plus, for God's sakes. Like, how much coding does that possibly take? All you do is you put in a New Game Plus option, you take their stats that you've already had and throw it in the New Game Plus. Like, how hard is that? I don't know. Like, this is crazy. 15 bucks for a friggin' New Game Plus. Like, this is wild. When is this going to stop? Like, seriously, this is just wild. GameStop's NFT marketplace closes next month, almost 2 years to the day after it was announced. I'm shocked that it took this long. Everybody and their mother knew that NFTs were a scam from day one, but we all know GameStop and, oh look, a money-making scam? Sure, I'm in! And then they lose their shirt in it because they're idiots. So, like, who's bought an NFT? Like, has any of y'all bought an NFT? I personally had no idea what the hell they were when they first came out. I'd ask people, and even then I was still like, I don't get it. Like, I didn't understand how stupid someone could be to buy some dumb JPEG or like some paint thing, and they were all ugly as sin too, so I didn't get it. And I still don't get it, and thank God everybody else was like me. I'm like, I don't get this shit, you know? I remember I saw it during the height of it. We were out at the movies, and we parked our car, and there was a billboard, and it had this picture of this ugly, like this like 8-bit ugly pirate, and it said something along the lines of, hey, you want to buy this NFT before some NFL team does? It's only $76,000. And I looked up at that and I was like, give me a break. I can make that thing. It's the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, they were trying so hard to sell these NFTs or whatever, and it was just ridiculous. But yeah, finally, GameStop is going against it. We haven't heard a peep from Square about their NFTs, but something tells me they've just dropped that internally. And speaking of video game stores, we have our last story of the day. A UK retailer called Game is to cease video game trade-ins. This was originally said by staff, but now the chain itself has confirmed this. So if you live over in England and you would like to trade in your video games to this chain, you can no longer do so. That has been stopped, it says. As part of the integration of Game, we'll be phasing out the trade-in, Preowned, and Game Elite offerings in the UK over the coming months. A spokesperson for the chain's owner told BBC News. Pre-owned will still be available in our standalone stores across the UK while the stock lasts, and Game Elite will still be available until the end of the summer. So this really sucks. Like, I know whenever I go to GameStop, I'm always like looking for a sale. I'm looking for like a hidden gem that I can find like for under 20 bucks or whatever. Sometimes they have those like buy two, get one free sales. Whenever fall or like Christmas time comes around, so you can get some pretty good deals, but now they're only going to be selling full priced games. Like, that sucks. Personally, I don't trade in my video games. Been there, done that, regretted it every single freaking time. But for those of y'all out there who like to do that, you know, it's always nice to have the option. You know what I'm saying? So this is really, really, really crummy. And I think it just goes to show that, like, just the way that game is going, how physical is phasing out, like we don't even want to take, the pre-ordered, or the pre-owned, and it just seems like a very odd business decision, because if you get a customer who will come in and give the game store like 10 different games, get some store credit, and only purchase one game, now the game store has 10 different games that they're able to sell. And it seems like a decent business model to use, so it doesn't really make sense to me. I'm no businessman owner, you know what I'm saying? But it just doesn't make sense to me that they would stop wanting to get 10 other games that they could potentially sell and bring in other customers, and also bring in customers to do the pre-owned trades in exchange for just selling like one game, if that makes sense. I probably didn't explain it properly, but I think that most of you understand what I'm trying to say here. They are alienating a customer base, and they are going to be getting less things on their shelves because of this, and then collectors won't be coming into their stores either, because there will be no reason, or they will know that there won't be any older games to purchase, is what I'm trying to say here. So this to me is a really bad decision. I don't live in England, so I don't know if there are any other options, but if it's anything like America, there's pretty much GameStop and then random retro stores all over the place, and maybe like Target or Walmart or whatever, which never took pre-owns or pre-owned games anyway. So this is really crummy, not a fan of this, but that's it for our news this week. Let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know what your comments are. Let me know if there's any other stories that you'd like for me to cover. And as always, have a good day.